My name is Sydney Dean, and I am the Communications Coordinator here at Woodway Methodist. I grew up in Lubbock, Texas, and this is where my Christmas memory takes place. Growing up, my family celebrated Christmas early because we always spent the Christmas break with my grandparents who lived in a small Texas town up in the Panhandle. The weeks leading up to Christmas were extremely stressful and busy. Both of my parents were traveling back and forth, taking care of my grandparents due to illness. It was getting close to time for us to make our trip, and my parents decided to have our Christmas when we returned. Several days passed and we had returned to Lubbock, and the first thing that happened was my mom gave my dad the task of going to find a Christmas tree. He went to every tree lot that was near our home, and no one had a tree. He was returning empty-handed when he saw a tree in the front of our neighbor's house. He had passed by earlier, so he knew the tree had not been there for very long. He pulled in the driveway and rang the doorbell, and the neighbor answered. He explained the circumstances and said, "We have no tree for us to have our Christmas. Could we buy yours?" The neighbor smiled and began to tear up and said, "Oh, what a blessing for you to have our tree. You do not need to pay me." So he thanked her, threw the tree in the back of the truck, and headed home. Meanwhile, my brother, mother, and I had been waiting for his return. And suddenly we heard the door open, and my dad hollered, "Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!" We ran to the kitchen to see him carrying in this tree. We were all in shock. I looked over at my mom, and she was beginning to tear up. You see, for years, my mom always wanted a flocked Christmas tree. And standing before her was the most beautiful white tree she had ever seen. There are two reasons why the Christmas memory is so special to me. First, the blessing our neighbor received giving the tree away. And secondly, our family receiving the blessing of a flocked Christmas tree. Merry Christmas.